Opioids are one of the most effective pain relievers that are available. Pain can arise from unresolved traumas. And so unresolved trauma is very painful to carry, not only emotionally, but also physically.
Our ancestors warned us about this, about what was coming, about these issues. There's been ODs, murders, deaths.
The opioid crisis, it's ongoing. We don't have a handle on it.
So it's a fear that you live with every day. Now when you're driving down the street and you see the ambulance pulled over, I've actually pulled my vehicle over and gone to see if it was my loved one.
You know, in the future, they're the future fathers and mothers, the future professionals in our communities.
And it's like, you know what? Nobody grows up as a child saying, hey, I want to grow up and be an addict. It's, unfortunately, addiction, drugs, you know, people turn to drug use when something traumatic happens in their lives.
And no one understands where they're coming from in terms of those traumas.
So, like, for me, like, I was molested as a child growing up for many years from one of my brother's best friends. I had a father who, you know, was very abusive as well. So I didn't really have much choice, so I turned to drugs, you know, to help numb the pain. And that's where a lot of people go, you know, but they turn to drugs to help numb the pain. My name's Neil Bramsleben. I live here in Fort St. John. Right now, I work with Northern Health. I'm a peer advocate that does outreach to the people out on the street. Well, we've been doing the van and the tent operation since about January 10th of 2022. Okay. But I've been in the harm reduction and helping people out for about 2 years now. Drugs are in every town. There's users in every town, whether people want to admit it or not. But they're all across every community. I mean, it doesn't matter, large or small, the drugs are there. Because when people think of drug users, it's the people on the street that they think of right away first. So that's people's first image. They don't think about the people that are working out in the oil field and working night shifts and that. You look for that stimulant to stay up all night, you know, because they want to get that job done. They got to work 24 hours, you know. Now, I was what you call a high-functioning addict. People didn't even know I was on drugs. And I'd go to work, I'd pay my bills, I raised the family, did everything normal, and nobody judged me for anything. But as soon as I came out and I opened up that, hey, I have a drug problem, you know, I was heavily into cocaine and into the crack, people's opinion instantly changed. And that's when I really realized that stigma is a big thing. And I mean, even doing what I do now with my job, the stigma's there. You know, I get a lot of people that walk by and say, hey, you're just enabling people, you're not helping the community. And it's like, actually, no, I'm saving lives. So this one we'll just set up right down here. So right here we have our 2 safe injection booths, so people can come in safely use. Here we have our inhalation tent where we have our smokers go, and we sit out here and we monitor them for about 15 minutes before we let them go. And we always do their drug testing and make sure that there's no fentanyl and there's drugs for them. We got our naloxone, and we also have Narcan available for folks. Yesterday, it was crazy. Like, our stats are just going up more and more. So, no, like yesterday, I think that was one of our busiest days. So we had 7 people in total. A lot of people turn a blind eye and are in denial that we even have this problem. So they don't think we have this problem, but we do.
hurt. Stigma is trauma.
Stigma is racism.
Stigma is how others see us.
Stigma is the loss of identity.
Stigma is self-esteem.
Stigma is a Latin term, stigmata. It's like an attaching of an affliction onto a people to make them, to make all the rest of the world aware of how they are to be seen. People who choose to use substances have a stigma attached to them. It's a perception from society that they are perceived as violent, maybe they're perceived as dirty or unhealthy. And so stigma is society's preconceived notion of how people are going to behave or act. And so stigma is the main killer of our people in the Northwest. We're facing a stigma and trauma crisis. The Northwest region, we have the highest rate of opioid overdose deaths in British Columbia, all of the regions.
Most of our communities are isolated and remote, so the healthcare that they need is not readily available.
In this little community alone, we don't have resources like they have in inner cities. So we rely on outside resources to come in and support us. We need to rely more on the cultural system.
When somebody's living in such a maybe place of darkness and a place of, kind of maybe stagnant feelings, being connected to culture again can really help reignite a sense of self and reignite a sense of connectedness.
The opposite of addiction is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is connection.
As kind of cheesy as it sounds, love is the answer.
Because when you love somebody, you're seeing their potential. You're seeing a future that could be.
I had somebody who loved me enough to tell me that they loved me and that I was worth something all on my own. And that the choice was mine. And that I needed to stand in my own power and be my own person. I'm grateful that somebody looked at me that way, right? And said, I love you for just who you are, right? You don't have to be anything special for me. You just need to be you.
Love is the answer.